A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Good morning, everyone, and greetings of peace. My name is Marium Khawaja, and I am the Outreach and Volunteer Coordinator for CAIR-NY, that is the Council on American-Islamic Relations, the New York chapter, a leading Muslim civil rights organization. At CAIR-NY, we provide free legal services to victims of hate crimes, discrimination, and harassment, and generally support people who are victims of whose civil rights have been infringed upon. Today, we speak in support of the Resolution 1484, which calls on Congress to enact the Bridge Act and on state lawmakers to pass the New York DREAM Act, both legislation which supports undocumented people here in New York and throughout the country. I will briefly address both of these and try to focus on the particular community we serve, which is the Muslim community here in New York City. So firstly, we do believe that the Bridge Act provides certain protections, and despite its limitations, it is especially important now, where the Trump administration, as we've seen, has been arresting more undocumented immigrants. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has doubled the amount of people that they've arrested this year compared to the same time period in 2016. And many of these people who are detained are like those that we hear today. They're law-abiding Americans, they're exceptional leaders in their community, and under DACA, they're predicted to grow our economy by $230 billion over a 10-year period. It seems that our president has also heard this because this past Friday, I'm sure many of you know, it appears that President Trump conceded to the importance of DACA and has agreed to extend the program. But I want to be clear, this is a volatile president, and his word is not enough. New York's dreamers need the Bridge Act and other acts to ensure that their rights will be protected going forward. Moving on to the DREAM Act, Councilmember Menchaca and I have the same statistics, but I guess it bears repeating. Currently in New York City, 4,500 undocumented immigrants who graduate from high school each year. Of those 4,500, only 5 to 10% go on to college. Now, this is problematic when we remember that by 2020, 65% of all U.S. jobs will require a minimum of a college education. And further, in New York, college graduates on average make $57,000 more per year than high school graduates, and this is much higher than the national average, which is $30,000. Now, the New York DREAM Act ensures that undocumented immigrants do not remain excluded from these opportunities. For CAIR New York, these laws are essential in supporting the many undocumented Muslim New Yorkers who find their situation complicated by the extensive and targeted surveillance of the Muslim community by law enforcement. As noted in Ziegler v. Abbasi, which is currently in the U.S. Supreme Court, over 700 undocumented Muslim men were detained for months before they were deported back in, I believe, 2002 and 2003. And with NSEERS, which is the National Security Entry and Exit Registration System, a de facto Muslim registry at the time, we saw more than 60,000 men from Muslim-majority nations detained and over 13,000 deported. Now, someone whose father had to register with NSEERS, I can attest to the fear that these programs cause to particular communities. Furthermore, despite the fact that Muslims make up 95% of the investigations for political and religious investigations conducted by the NYPD, surveillance is not just a Muslim problem, and it's something that will affect undocumented workers as well. The NYPD's deployment of highly intrusive technologies such as military-grade X-ray vans and cell phone surveillance devices known as stingrays create great risk for undocumented New Yorkers. The information collected by this technology could potentially be subpoenaed by federal authorities, including ICE, and used to track down undocumented immigrants for detention and deportation. If this is the case, New York cannot truly claim to call itself a sanctuary city, and for this reason, CAIR New York continues to support the Council's passage of the Post Act, which would ensure that this Council has the ability to oversee the NYPD's use of new and invasive surveillance technologies. I commend this committee for its leadership on these crucial issues and the broader fight for the safety of undocumented immigrants, and I look forward to working with this Council and advocating for the rights of immigrant New Yorkers. Thank you.
Thank you.